I haven't made a video in a minute, and I was just realizing that I really miss it. Um, I've been really struggling lately. I guess this is just gonna be kind of a journal. But I've just been in a really like a struggle place, like extended emotional flashback here for. I mean, it's been really bad. It's been really bad for the past I don't know month, say. But it was last week was especially just like low. Like last week and the week before, just like a real like I give up type of like vibe, but like kind of more and like way more intense. I don't know if you know what I mean, but it was harsh to say the least. But this week, I'm feeling like it kind of like it's calmed down some, but I still feel like inside like this kind of like bubbling like I'm gonna try to describe it. I think it might, be useful for me and just whatever, just for this. But trying to describe it is like in the kind of the pit of my stomach, and there's just this feeling like a kind of like suspended, like frozenness, but also like fear. I feel like it is like a ball of fear. And it's just like something I've been like running from like today. A lot of today just consisted of running away from this feeling actually, like doing a lot of bullshit in order to do that. So wow, it's I just so don't want my life to go down like that, just doing a lot of bullshit to escape feelings. It's really sad, but that's how a lot of my life has gone down, especially in the past, 10 years. And I mean, this is kind of how it goes. I guess there's just like, you know, when you endeavor to heal and stuff from all this trauma, you're still going to experience a lot of lost time, I think, because there's so much struggle still that you have left in you, Um, there's still so many old ways that have to like be, retired, and like feel safe enough that they don't need to step in like how they have for like your whole fucking life. That's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah, this the feeling is in my stomach. It's like a boiling, like a fluttering. It's like a roiling flutter, and it's like clawing. It's like clawing out, and it's like I'm not even breathing properly in order to not feel it that well. I think. Trying to see. I think it is fear, but like Pete Walker says, underneath a lot of fear and anxiety is, generally speaking, you know, depression, and and that depression, I think that must be what's kind of, well, what else could it be? That's really, really frightening. And I saw this documentary on YouTube the other day. It was about these Western journalists who snuck their camera into like China and like visited all these orphanages and stuff. Seemed like it was in the mid 90s, and like they were looking for these dying rooms. These rooms where these like abandoned baby girls were just like left to die. And they didn't find so many per se, but they kind of did. It's really, really, really sad. Like all these really, you know, children that nobody loves and nobody wants to love, and just the ways that they're really suffering, and or they're done suffering and they're just numb or checked out, you know what I mean? Like they have to move on. You know, like no one's coming for them, no one's coming to help them. You know, these kids. You know, like all the kids have is like older kids to take care of them, and you know they're not doing a great job. Obviously, they're just kids too, but that's it. It's like they're really thrown to the wolves, and I'm just feeling that way. Like maybe I'm kind of connecting to that kind of thrown to the wolves energy right now, and that's kind of like what's making up this like deep, just like intense fear in the pit of my stomach. Just like fear, fear, fear. Like I'm gonna, you know, get eaten alive by wolves. You know, ripped apart. You know, and I think that that might be what I'm running from right now, running from the wolves or the wolf feeling, not the wolves. And I'm so exhausted. Just I'm fucking exhausted, you know. And I'm like scared I'm gonna get COVID from like not being able to care for myself that well right now. Just too much fear, you know. It's really not good. Like, it's fucked because it's like the world is so fucking scary. But then they have the fucking balls to be like, don't be scared though. That's dangerous for your health. It's like, thanks a lot, motherfucker. Like, I don't know, can the world be like a little cuter so I don't be scared as much? No? Okay, great. Um, so yeah, just this feeling of like on this point. Anyway, I didn't even get to my point, but like that documentary. They finally did find like one girl who was like legitimately left in a room to die, and it was so sad. It was so, I mean, it was really, really, really gross and sad and terrifying, you know. But maybe like looking at that little child like dying and her little eyes sunken in her sockets and just like she's like, you know, it's like because no one loved her, she was not really human, you know? And maybe there's part of me that feels that way too, you know? Because I was not loved like adequately, you know, by my parents. But there's a part of me that always kind of um is like a little wild and like a little bit like I feel myself that makes me different, you know? In like a way that's like really bad. Like I'm like subhuman, you know? And it's a very deep like wound, you know, to feel that way. It's really really unsettling, you know, because I think when you really deep inside like you don't feel like you belong like other people, like you don't feel like you're the same kind of person, like you don't feel like you're the same species as other people practically, then you don't like try the same way that other people do, you know? There's no like you don't feel that there's place for you. Because the thing is like when you try anything like you have to like just sort of like take a chance, right?